Howdy, Dennis Bradford here. Let's think some about being, feeling, and doing better. What is an emotion? Like all concepts, the concept of emotion is a principle of classification. How should we separate forms into emotions and non-emotions? There are three conditions that are jointly sufficient. Each of the three is necessary. Before stating that analysis, permit me to try to encourage you to detach from one pernicious idea. For Descartes, there are two kinds of finite substances, namely minds and bodies. For him, minds are thinking and non-spatial, while bodies are spatial and non-thinking. So an individual human is a mind-body duality. This view led to a very strange physics that didn't withstand much examination. It was, though, interesting and different from Aristotle's physics. However, it was soon replaced by Newtonian physics, which was in turn replaced by Einstein. On the other hand, the view of mind as non-spatial consciousness is still with us. Scientists enamored of Newtonian physics like the mechanical view of the universe without consciousness. To remove consciousness from consideration when trying to understand matter can be useful. However, it can also be radically misleading. The truncated world is the subject of methodological materialism, which is a scientific procedure for investigating topics without considering consciousness. For some scientific purposes, there's nothing wrong with methodological materialism. However, that's quite different from metaphysical materialism, which is the ontological doctrine that to be real is to be matter or a state of matter. Metaphysical materialists try to reduce consciousness to states of matter, for example, brain states. By way of contrast, metaphysical idealists try to reduce matter to states of consciousness. A major subject in the philosophy of science is causation. What is it? How does causation work? Must two objects somehow touch or be in contact for there to be a causal effect between them? For our purposes here, arguing for answers to these questions is unnecessary. What is necessary, though, is being incredibly careful about thinking that somehow a human being is a combination of a spatial body and a non-spatial consciousness. Even if you happen to be stuck on that view, I encourage you to think of emotions as a connection between your body and your consciousness. In other words, think of yourself as a body-mind, in which emotions are like an entranceway or swinging door between the two. Both thoughts, which are the constituents of minds, and bodies are, as I previously suggested, better thought of as packets of energy. If so, they are not radically different kinds of entities. In other words, emotions are characteristics of body-minds. There are three aspects to every emotion. First, if you love your mother and are not aware that she just died, how do you feel about that? It's a trick question. At least until you become aware that she died, you don't have any emotions like grief related to your mother's death. So, the first aspect of every emotion is an apprehension of some situation or other. Second, suppose that you see on television that it's snowing now in Kyoto. You are in the United States and don't know anyone in Kyoto. How do you feel about the fact that it's snowing now in Kyoto? It has nothing whatsoever to do with your life. So, you don't have any emotions related to it. Even though you apprehend it, it's just another fact that's irrelevant to your well-being. So, the second aspect of every emotion is that one's apprehension of the relevant situation must be of personal interest. When we apprehend situations that have nothing whatsoever to do with our own welfare, we never have any emotions about them. When they are related to us, the evaluative judgment will either be, this is good for me, or this is bad for me. If you were in Kyoto and enjoy falling snow because it will ensure that you'll be able to go skiing later, you might feel very good indeed that it's snowing there now. If you were in Kyoto and feared that the falling snow would make you late for an important meeting, You might feel very bad that it's snowing there now. The point is that the evaluative judgment must be self-interested. Third, emotions are not just beliefs. They are, again, beliefs that are felt in the body. If a belief is insufficiently intense to stimulate a bodily sensation, it's only a belief. It's not an emotion. Typically, emotions are felt in the front of the body, such as in the throat, chest, or stomach. They can, though, be felt in any part of the body. The feelings can be mild or intense. They may or may not be detectable by others, such as a rise in blood pressure. Different people can feel the same emotion, such as fear or anger, in different parts of the body. What's crucial is that all emotions are apprehensions of some situation or other, whose core is a self-interested evaluative judgment that is sufficiently intense to be felt in the body. If one of those three aspects is missing, there's no emotion. Each is necessary. If all three are present, that's sufficient for an emotion. If you doubt this analysis, try to recall an emotion that lacked any of the three aspects. I think you'll fail. Why is this analysis important? It's because the methods for dealing effectively with emotions directly relate to this analysis. Let's consider those methods in the next 3 videos. There, you'll be able to learn from them how to dissolve any unwanted emotion, which is the most important training in this video sequence. Let's end emotional distress.